All right, welcome in everybody. It's Tarheels Herald coming at you with the analysis of the Virginia Tech UNC game. A lot to unpack here. Gonna be clearing my throat a lot, so bear with me there. All right, so this game ends at 56-48. Let me just pull up the game here real quick. Just make sure I got all the numbers correct. 56-45, apologies. A lot of answers, but a lot of new questions. Let's start with Virginia Tech passing was held in check. We were allowing on average of 200 and something yards in the past two games. The Jerkovich looked really good in the Boston College game, so if Hendon Hooker started, which he did come out, I'm not sure of why he didn't start, but he finally did come out and he looked decent. Definitely looked a lot better than Burmeister, but who knows if Hendon Hooker would have started, how it would have gone. But, either way, we still was only really hurt by Herbert. Hendon really didn't do too much. He only threw for, 58%? 50%, something like that. I did state in the last one that, whoever gets to 200 yards first on rushing is probably going to win the game. And I technically meant whoever got 200 yards in general would probably win the game. But my statement of hitting it first was also correct technically, because we did hit it first. And boy, did we blow past it. We got 399 yards. Shout out to Michael. 214 yards, 2 touchdowns, 12.6 yards per carry. I like averaging first downs too. That's cool. We had a few people out on defense. So can we say that our defense was hindered without these guys? Who knows? Probably in the rush game, yes, because the three guys that were out were JQ, Jaquarius Conley, Storm Duck, and Ray Vahasek. And basically, for a fact, JQ and Ray Vahasek are both, better in the run side. So you have to imagine that it hindered us a little bit. But I don't really know anything information-wise about them yet. If they're just out because of COVID or... Well, Storm did tweak something in I think his ankle. I think it was his ankle. He tweaked something last game, but I don't think it was anything major. So he may be out for a few more weeks, but still don't know much about JQ and Ray Vahasek. Apparently, Emery Simmons was also out. Didn't really matter there. He's basically considered a third string right now, I guess. So, boy, I'll tell you what. Chaz Surratt is probably my favorite player, but man, Gemmel looked amazing that game. I mean, he didn't have... Well, he had 7 total tackles, I think it was. 7 or 8. 5 solos. So, the big thing about this game, in general, about the defense, it's kind of weird because we held them to... It was, 21-7 at the first half? Let me pull that up real quick. Sorry. No, it was 35-14. I'm thinking of the third quarter for some reason. I don't know why. But 35-14 was at half. We're all thinking, Jesus, defense is here. we earned this top 10 ranking. It's got to be, we're all around good, and not a lot of people can say that. And I'm still going to hold off on saying we're all around overall an amazing team, because you're still got questions on that defense. But man, the other standout guy today for the defense, Don Chapman. What a hoss, man. That kid was all over the field. I can't even tell you what position he plays. I'm pretty sure it's the strong safety, or sorry, the free safety, I think. I can't remember. I think they call it striker. Is that? That may be wrong, but man, that dude had some glimpses of Isaiah Simmons in there. He's just all over the field. He had the most tackles. Now, we only had one sack on the day, right? Just one. I have it written down here somewhere. We did only have one sack, and only 3 tackles for loss. So, to break that down, really, they have an amazing offensive line. Let's just point that out there. The offensive line, even though, to be honest, the offensive line for Virginia Tech was the only reason they were in the game, because that third quarter, the offensive line just took a tired defense and pushed them all over the place. The third quarter, our defense was on the field 12 minutes of the 15. So, hats off to Virginia Tech, obviously scoring 23 in that third quarter. But, you can't really blame the defense in a way, because they were hammered. And, I would have been happy with 14 coming out of there, but to be honest, 23 points after that third quarter, with the way it was going, I'm just happy they didn't pull ahead of us. Let me see here. Let me look at this third quarter. Let me see how much time of possession we have. We have 2 minutes. Is that 2 minutes? Yeah, it's about 2 minutes. What is this? Kicks 11 yards from PT. Yeah, I'm not even sure what happened here. I can't even remember. But if you count it all up, boy, we only had the ball 4 minutes at least, total. 4 minutes total in that. So, yeah, again, our defense was pushed to the limits in that third quarter. Because if you're looking at that game, you're like, okay, let's put it away, boys. Let's get a couple more touchdowns in this third quarter, and then let's get them backups in there. Let's get Jacoby a couple snaps. Definitely want to see Tony Grimes get in there. Desmond Evans, which I think Desmond got a few plays in there, but I didn't really see him do much. Overall, I'd still give the defense a solid C plus, B minus. They did as much as they could have with what was given to them. Let's see. Sam did very well. He didn't pull out the Heisman Sam that we come to love, but boy almighty, week 3 was a whole lot better than week 1 and 2. He completed about 80% of his passes. Daz Newsome finally shows up. Izudu, I think Izudu might just be the person that just keeps this offensive line going and together. It seems like as soon as Izudu's on the field, the offensive line is just in tune. So he looked amazing in and of himself, and obviously that line loves blocking the run game because it didn't see. I don't know if they got one tackle for loss on our run game. Let me see here if they even got a tackle for loss. Because boy, we still may have questions for the offensive line, obviously, but see, they got one sack. I can't see if there's tackles for loss. Anyways, Michael Carter. I'm not even going to sit here and praise him for what he did. I'm just going to sit here and be happy for him because he finally got some touchdowns that he deserves. Jay Williamson was stealing every damn touchdown from Michael Carter, and it wasn't even fair. Michael Carter's doing all the work, and then Javonte just gets it handed off in the red zone and just pushes some people over and takes away the touchdown from Michael. But obviously Michael, I'm sure, doesn't care. But he finally got 2 touchdowns, and I'm proud of him for he's just such a team player. I don't think anyone on this team is more of a team player than Michael Carter, that's for sure. But yep, Javonte also got 2 touchdowns. Let's see, Sam got 3. Threw 1 to Daz. Excuse me. Threw 2 to Daz, 2 to Diami, 1 to Daz. And pretty much between those two and the running backs, not really many people got some touches after that. It's kind of unfortunate. We wanted to see Choffrey start to get some more touches because he's, which never knew this, that he was Diami's brother until like a couple weeks ago. So I assume he's going to be great. And would love to see him get more touches. Obviously they started to come back, so I get why we had to keep the veterans in and stick with them. Let's see. Even though that offensive line for Virginia Tech was so good that I just wanted to point this out real quick. The Fox brothers did pretty well holding their own. Jaleel Taylor for sure did, because he had to step in for Ray. And, Jaleel's definitely more of a rush kind of guy, rush defender. And, he held his own, and I'm proud of him. But yeah, back to the offense. Daz Newsome coming out with 2 front flips. That was beautiful stuff. I know one was not, was a little questionable. Seemed like he might have gotten hurt for a second there, but that one was a tackle for loss. So he did a little front flip for tackle for loss, but got a front flip for a touchdown, so makes up for it. I did say that for our offense, now obviously the run game shut me up, but I did say the offense needed to attack the middle more, or we're going to have a tough time out there. And I still only saw about 1 to 2 passes in the middle. So we still have obviously some things to improve upon. We got a lot of, I'm not going to say easy wins or anything like that, but we got a lot of games that could help us prepare by hopefully going up early and then testing a few things down the line, especially with Florida State. Jesus Christ, that money line, or not money line, but that cover, the spread, bet Carolina all day. I know they didn't cover against Boston College, but Jesus Christ, Florida State, there ain't no way Florida State's within 10. And if that's true, I might just be done with this channel. Screw it. But the defense didn't look great, but they looked they looked well enough, and you expected a shootout. I said in my last video, it's either going to be, which is funny because I predicted a 60-point game, but I said it was probably going to be all-out defense or all-out offense. So probably around 40-ish to 50 points, or it's going to be north of 80. And north of 80 it was. What was that? 17 long touchdown. Near. Oh yeah, that third quarter was tough. I mean, they could have easily held them at 14, maybe even only 10 points or whatever. But that third quarter, they had one long touchdown drive. The other points came from a near interception by Don Chapman, the man, if he would have got this, easily player of the game. But almost got the interception, and it ended up being tipped and get a good gain. The onside kick, hats off to Justin Fuente for calling that one, because nobody saw that one coming. I wanted to point out too that Eugene Asante. Now, everyone knows that everyone playing this year still gets another year of eligibility. But if Chaz leaves, which I have a feeling Gemmel will stay, but I would love for Chaz to stay as well. However, if both of them leave, obviously you can't get mad at them. But Eugene Asante will be ready. He already looks amazing. He's a speedy linebacker. He got he reminds me a lot. What it reminds me. He's not even in our program yet, but he looks a lot like, because I didn't see Eugene's film coming out of recruiting, because I didn't really get into the recruiting part of all this until kind of this year. Now I'm like, your recruiting is like everything to me now. But I didn't really watch him, but watching him in game reminds me a lot of the film from Rah Rah. So Rah Rah is just speed, downhill, just beating you. They're just tough guys. And Eugene, he got 2 solos and 5 assists. I don't know how many snaps he played, because I don't get that kind of info. But however many, I know he probably got at least 20-ish. But because I would even possibly say more, because I did see a lot of 3 linebacker schemes, which I assumed we were going to do because of Herbert. So you saw Eugene out there. Gemmel playing. I think it was Gemmel was playing in the middle, and Chaz and Eugene were on the outside. I'm ready for Eugene for sure. If once Chaz and Gemmel's gone, I am so ready to see him be starting out there. I will say, let's see here. The one thing that really upsets me is Virginia Tech beat us by something that we need to be focusing on a whole lot more, and that's tight ends. Boston College kicked their ass with tight ends. Now, they didn't really, obviously, throw a lot, but man, you could tell our weakness is tight ends. And now, when I say they didn't throw a lot, I'm not saying they didn't throw to their tight end a lot. They threw to their tight end, 4 times, but 100 yards. Now, from what I see Trey Morrison getting these guys a lot, and hats off to Trey Morrison for getting the job done against Boston College when it mattered, but I don't know what it is, and we can't seem to get our tight end some love, which Walston has gotten 3 targets, and he's catched all of them, and he seems wide open every time he gets a route. And again, like I said earlier, we didn't hit the middle. They attacked the middle half the time that they were throwing the ball. If you did notice too, there were 6 total touchdowns, and 3 of them were in the third quarter. So they got half in the third. Now, with the first, like I said, long touchdown drive, it was a little disappointing to see him just drive on us like that, but the 2 touchdowns that came after, you can't blame the defense. So, but I will say the defense is gonna have to, I don't even know. Like, they're so random. They're what they look weak in one week, they look so strong in the next week, and then vice versa with the positives. It just makes no sense sometimes. But I'll tell you what, I trust Jay Bateman all day long. If I had to choose right now someone to take over Mac's job, it would be Jay Bateman all day. Mostly because I'm still skeptical of Phil's play calling, even though obviously, well, they didn't really have to call plays. All they had to do was just hand it off, and it was in the story there. But with all that being said, we got Virginia Tech going into 2-1. I'm sure they're going to be kicked off the top 25 because I'd still have them in the top 20. I'll tell you that. If I did a top 25, they would definitely be in the top 20. And North Carolina would be 4th. And the reason being is because Notre Dame still has not proven anything to me. What in the heck were they doing against Florida State? They rushed. I feel sorry for Florida State, because they just got murdered by the run. Was it 2 running backs? I think it was 2 running backs. Notre Dame seems to have a similar system in the run game like us. But they got 353 yards on Florida State, and we just came off 399, and we're about to play the same team. I feel so bad for Florida State fans right now. And man, where the heck was this game at? They allowed 20 points in the first half to Florida State. Now, they were still winning by 2 touchdowns, but Florida State should not be scoring 20 points in any half of football against Notre Dame at all. They didn't even score 20 points versus Georgia Tech or Miami. Now, we're not even going to talk about Jackson State because I'm not even sure who they are, where they come from. like I wouldn't brag about beating Charlotte. So, but we didn't play them. But right now, I would have UNC at 4 and Notre Dame at 5 all day, because Notre Dame, to me, still has a lot of questions. But going forward for the Heels, I said this in the preview, and I know the video is a little hard to get through because of my horrible editing skills right now. I left out a lot of stuff I wanted in the video, and I left in a lot of stuff I didn't want in the video, so I'm still working on that right now. But, well, like I said in the last video, if I did get it in there, don't remember, but this was the game. This was our week to either prove it or lose it, and we proved it. And now all we have is, now hold on a second, how do we have a bye week still for Notre Dame? I think we have a bye week for, I don't know if because they've done some schedule changes. Let me just look it up real quick before I say something dumb. I think it's 6 weeks. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yes, 5 weeks plus the bye would be 6 weeks. So we have Florida State, NC State, UVA or Virginia, Duke, and Wake. The only thing that scares me is 3 in-state rivals. Sorry, not rivals, but 3 in-state opponents, which I guess you could say Wake is a rival now, but I wouldn't say that. So I'm just going to consider Duke and NC State right now, because they're really the only ones that give us problems with a rivalry. So NC State, I wanted it to be an easy win, but it seems like it may not. I don't know for sure. I mean, I got to give props to NC State. I picked them on the money line to beat Pitt. Okay, because Pitt loses those type of games. They have to lose one a year. And sure as shit, they lost to NC State. Now NC State might be good. Excuse me. I almost put them on the money line again for Virginia, but I didn't know enough about Virginia, so I didn't do that. But anyways, I mean, 3-1 with the only loss is to Virginia Tech, and in no way do I think Virginia Tech is a horrible team. So, North Carolina State probably going to be our toughest game in that stretch. But Florida State, NC State, UVA, Duke, and Wake, you couldn't ask for a more perfect October/early November. I guess we've already played 2 October games, so I can't say October. But, you can't ask for an easier mid-season lineup heading into your biggest part of the year. Now, it kind of sucks that Notre Dame and Miami are together, and I don't know who the fuck thought it was a great idea, excuse my language, for West Carolina to be played a week after Miami and a week before the ACC championship. If we make it to the ACC championship, we better remove this from our schedule. There is no reason to play Western Carolina before Clemson. That's the dumbest thing in the world. We need our entire 2 weeks for Clemson. So, who thought that was smart? Don't know. They need a pay cut. That's for sure. But I'm really excited for Florida State. Again, I think this should be way too easy. I don't want to jinx anything, but boy, they are so bad. I know they got a better quarterback finally in. Don't know who thought Blackman, I think that's his name, Blackman? I don't know who thought Blackman was ever a good choice at QB, but thank God someone finally was like, maybe we should bench this kid. But I will bring you guys a preview for the Florida State game. I don't know. It probably won't be a long one because I don't really have much to say about Florida State. The video is probably going to be a 10 to 15 minute video of me saying Carolina should win. There's no way we should lose. And if we lose, our season is over. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I'm going to sign off here, boys. I will see you guys in the preview. Thank you for joining into the Tarheels Herald. I'll see you next time.